In a moment, I'm going to make a camera fastening device that I can use to clamp this flip video onto a kind of like a do-it-yourself hand clamp, spring-loaded, but it'll have a tripod mounting bushing attached to it. So let's see if we can bring the little character in that we're about to butcher. Alrighty, this is the guy we're dealing with right here. I'm going to spread him open with this battery so that I can actually work on killing some of the rib structure so that I can mount a bolt, which I'll show in a moment. Alrighty, all this stuff here that you see ran under $2, which includes the two hex nuts, this one bolt, and various washers. Now figure out how to utilize them in the best fashion. The business end of this bolt will actually screw into a tripod fastening receptacle that's common to these flip video cameras and other cameras of this type. Here's the fun part. I used a vise in order to apply torsion to the actual compression spring that's used in the clamp, because the clamp has to be separated so I can work on one of the halves so that I can modify the ribbing section, perhaps right there, so that I can put a bolt through there. So this section here has to be cut out. So I had to remove the spring that's part of that assembly, and luckily I had a vise that's handy and some tie wraps that you can see that will be used to hold the spring in place so that I can reinstall it once I'm done modifying one of the clamp halves. Here's that assembly again, and trust me, I was extra careful removing it, making sure that it wouldn't ricochet and perhaps damage some of the bathroom fittings where this is being taped. Okay, as you can see here, I cut out this section right there. It was continuous with this ribbing and that ribbing. So I cut this out so I can work on this area. And I'll use a rather unorthodox method which to make a hole, since I don't have a drill. I'll literally melt it with a soldering iron. Okay, well, this is the finished half assembly. I don't know if you can see it, if the focusing is decent enough, but I'll try to point out the fact that we've got two bolts here down there that have been super glued in place. And I was careful to align the final positioning of the camera with the maximum turn-in threading that the actual tripod mount screw hole would attain. So that's what we have going that way. I'll probably have to do a profile of this device with my other camera so that it can be seen from more than one angle. Alright, so now it's basically fun time. Putting things back together that had to be removed, that required tools to assist in that removal so that they could be put back into position. And that's where we are at the point. And we'll go grab that spring. Guess where he is? Over here. Just in case the little guys decided to give up. I didn't want an exploding spring to fling into either the shower stall or the toilet bowl, for that matter. So we put him in there. He's about to get his papers. You didn't miss much with me mounting the screw and joining the halves together. The real fun will take place once I cut the ribbon on the actual restraint on the clamp itself. So what are we going to do? Let's try this for one to try to clarify things. What I want to do is minimize the travel so that the impact of the jaws closing doesn't cause them to fracture from the sudden application of all of this kinetic energy that's built up between the actual tie wraps and the torsion spring. So what I'll need to do is kind of approximate that. Let's try this hairbrush. That hairbrush looks like it fits the bill, and we're going to have some fun cutting the ribbon on that actual set of tie wraps. So let's try and do that now and see what shakes. Wish me good luck. I don't have another pair of clamps. If it goes, that's the end of the experiment. Oops, it looks like that's the end of the experiment. And that is quite a shame, because the business end destroyed itself.